Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew live on Brew Sports. We welcome you inside the studio. We hope your day is going well. Welcome to Friday, a Friday fun day. Flashback Friday, Freaky Friday. I don't know what kind of Friday. It's that kind of a day, I guess. If your brackets have already been busted, I'm sure you're probably weeping miserably and rending your garments in the streets, because that's what I was doing this morning. I had to borrow this sweater from the local Goodwill in order to cover up my sadness from Michigan's losing last night. But that's not why we're here today. We're here to talk about sports. Jamie's here this morning. Good morning, Jaymee. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's wonderful to see you this morning. I didn't mean to go off on such a big tangent there right off the bat, but I had to voice my bitter sadness, because I'm sure everybody and their mother is like, Michigan lost.
Oh, that's
so
who you
shut
had
up,
winning.
Be like, all right, thanks, guys.
That's who you had winning.
That is who I had winning. It's a sad day, unfortunately, with them losing. Two of my Final Four teams are gone now, unfortunately.
Ooh.
It's a sad day in the Colburn house. It
I'll
was massive mourning.
I'll help you out next year.
Thank you. Yeah, you're still in first place, aren't you?
Yes.
Wow.
I am.
Nobody likes people like you. No, they do. I mean, if you look at it, yeah, there you are in the 99.8 percentile.
You wish you could be me.
Somebody wishes they could be you. 640 total points. She's got Kentucky winning it all. Get after it.
Fingers crossed.
How are you feeling about that? You feeling good?
Nope. Guess we'll see after tonight.
We will. We certainly will. Well, it's time to get into our What's Brewing segment here on Brew Sports on the Morning Brew. What is brewing in the sports world this morning, Jaymee?
A lot of things.
It is. It's a lot of random stuff, too, isn't it? Like, usually there's, like, a pattern at times. Like, oh, we can talk about this strain for a while. But it's like, there's this, and there's that, and there's that. It's like, get over here, guys. We're losing our focus.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from a lot of different parts of the sports world. So I think if we could bring it all in, we should talk about the two ejections that happened last night.
Two ejections. Okay.
So the first one was during the Mets spring training game.
Oh. Well, these are happening in baseball?
Baseball and basketball.
Okay.
So
because I know
two
the
different
ejections.
Things, two ejections.
Okay, because I know there's been a lot of fighting in the NBA.
Right.
But interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
continue.
So Cabrera tried to call timeout at home plate.
Okay.
The ump didn't grant it.
Okay.
So the pitch was thrown and he didn't swing.
Okay.
So he was obviously upset. So then he went in and made it to first. And he hits the ball goes.
Okay. Zoom.
Drops his bat, takes like two struts, looks back at the ump. I don't know what he said. If he said anything, it doesn't say if he said anything or whatever. Gets to first base. Ump takes a second, and then ejects him.
Really?
Yep.
So after he made contact, he looked back and supposedly said something to the ref.
Yeah, you can't see because like from the camera view, it's just like the side of his head that turns
like-
backwards. Yeah. And he ejected him, and he just usually they like do a little
Could trot.
trot out.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
no.
Had it out.
He just like walked as slow. It took a long time.
Oof.
Then he went to the wrong entrance or the wrong exit,
Oh,
so he had to walk
awkward.
back. And
It's kind of like when you get broken up with at a party and you like try to go out the emergency exit and set off the alarm. You're like, sorry, and then go back out.
just
the other door.
me.
Back again, guys. So sorry.
Yeah, so it said that he delayed the game for about a minute following his ejection by walking through the infield and the outfield to get to the clubhouse
Probably the most
located.
entertaining thing that probably happened in the baseball game.
Yeah. He said, I have to take my time. He threw me out. There's nothing I can do. You have to cross the field to come out.
That's true. You're right about that. You have to cross the field to get to the other side, I guess.
And I think it's funny.
It is
You're a
funny.
little
I think
cocky,
the
a
fact
little
that
sassy.
people are getting ejected already in spring training is kind of funny. It's like, really, guys, at spring training, even the umps are still trying to figure their stuff out, and here you guys are getting tossed for being smart son of a bees.
Right,
there,
and like he's an
basically.
adult. Why can't he be a little smart ass?
Yeah.
I don't understand why. I think he should be allowed to be.
It depends on what he said. I mean, if like maybe did they say was he getting bad calls leading up to that? Is that why he like turned to the ref and gave him a little piece of the business?
The video I saw was just the timeout. Didn't grant the timeouts, and then he was upset.
Gotcha.
Which is why he hit a base run and then was like,
That's
"What
really
up?"
strange. Yeah, it's like, how you like me now?
see that?
Cash me outside. How
See
about that? Exactly. I'm sure.
I wish that's. I hope that's what he said.
The ump's like, what'd you
Oh,
say to
that'd
me?
be
You're
awesome.
out of here, man. You
Yeah.
freaky millennials. Talking stuff.
That would have been funny.
I know. Caleb, not to jump into you fast here. Caleb says, I got 3 of my 8 teams. I got 3 Elite 8 teams last night. So that means, like, assuming he's got 3 of his Elite Eight teams still remaining. Jeff wants to know who you know and how did you figure out what you did to be first place. He's like, I don't understand. He's
I don't
upset.
understand
He's furious.
either.
He's fired up. He's like, how is Jaymee first place in the 99.8
Because I'm
percentile?
Great.
Literally.
Duh.
For those of you that don't know, she literally didn't do any sort of prep. She just was like, that team, that team, that team, that team, that team. Granted, we showed a story yesterday on halftime of babies picking brackets, and one of them still has a perfect bracket. So apparently anybody can do it.
Babies can do it. Jaymee can do it. You can do it.
Baby, Jaymee, like, come on, they end with E. I don't know. No? Don't worry about the actual spelling. That's the part that's not important. Aaron says he's been drinking his sorrows away since Arizona lost last night. They were his ultimate champion, and he has been drinking since about 7 o'clock last night.
It's okay. My bracket will totally get busted tonight. So
Will it? Do you think so?
I hope not. Just so I can keep
hope
rubbing
not
it in
either.
everybody's
Yeah,
face
be like,
that I'm
"Ha."
winning.
Yeah, Jamie's that girl. She walks into the office every day. She's like, hey, whose bracket's number 1? We're like, you didn't even try. Go away.
I was like at work last night. I'm like checking it the whole time. I'm like, I don't even know who I had winning any game, so I had to check that before the games even started.
She's like, can I gloat? I don't know. Yes, I can. I picked them. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Ha, they're winning. Like,
I don't even
sit
think I
down.
knew how to say Gonzaga until this.
Gonzaga, not Gonzaga.
See?
It's Gonzaga.
I don't even know.
Not Gonzaga. We've already had this conversation. Maybe you should pay attention.
How do you?
more. I'm joking.
Rude.
So, yes, I don't think so. Brew says he loves the new lower thirds that we're using. Thank you. I appreciate that you like the little changes, little subtle things here and there. We try to be the very best that we can be here on Brew Sports. Aaron says Jamie's just naturally talented. Should get into picking stocks.
I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe not. Tyler says I use the same tactic and I am in last place. Well, it's not for everybody, Tyler.
He has Wisconsin winning though.
Well, so does Frank Kaminsky winning 100-0. So
Yeah, well,
we'll see how that works out for Big Frank the Tank. So you said there was an ejection in basketball last night as well, too. That I find more believable because those guys have been hunting for fights all over the place.
Lil JJ Barrera got ejected for taking
I'm
down
sorry,
Blake
what?
Griffin. Lil JJ.
Really? See, do they let rappers play now, or
They must.
Disney Channel rejects, or what?
No, he's only 6 foot, which is clearly Lil.
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah, and you're Lil.
Am I little?
I think you're Lil.
We're the same height.
I know, and I'm big, but I'm a girl. You're a boy.
When did being 6 feet call you as little?
In my eyes.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
Lil.
I'll wear heels tomorrow.
Lil
Or Monday.
Baxter.
Lil
Lil
B.
B.
Lil B. That's what we call Beckham.
So he got in a little tussle with Blake Griffin, who is 6'10", so that's not Lil.
That's not Lil.
So 6 foot is pretty Lil.
All right, I suppose.
After they got in a little fight, he pushed.
They got in a little fight?
No,
All
I didn't
right.
even try to do that.
Terrible.
Pushed him, hit his face, and Blake Griffin got knocked over. So he got ejected from the game, and everyone was super confused as to why, because it looked like, it was pretty aggressive.
Aggressive.
But Blake Griffin's huge, and for him to reach up that high and get him on his
Yeah,
face, I get
I've
it.
got my arm, since I'm Lil, my arms are about a foot or so, long. So me trying to reach an extra
I think your
10
arms are
inches,
way longer than a foot.
probably.
You're not a T-Rex.
I have a big head and little arms. Does anybody know? You know that movie? I think that's from Meet the Osbournes or something. I don't know. That's like the one thing people know from that movie. It was an awful movie, but there's a scene like where the T-Rex gets his head like stuck trying to get somebody.
It's a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically. So I guess so. 10 feet or 10 inches. I could hit him.
Right, but you're going to need a lot of force,
Well,
so
yeah.
he's going to get
Since
knocked
I'm-
over,
since
and
I'm
it's probably
little.
going to look a little more aggressive then.
I feel like
No.
Blake probably embellished. Come on, like how often do you if you had like a little
but it hit him- it
if
hit
you had
him
like a
in the
little
chin.
if you had a little 5 foot girl coming up to you because you were looking at her man and she goes like you're gonna be like, oh.
I would be so quick. She
You
wouldn't
just
even
like
be able to.
slash her Achilles, be like,
Yeah.
you're done, get out. And like,
Her Achilles. I'd have to be super
That's
quick.
you-
Like
that's
I'm
you.
big and dopey. I could choke her maybe. Can't slit her Achilles.
I don't know, you're slippery.
I might. Scrappy from Sheboygan.
It's true.
So he gets ejected from the game and gets a standing ovation from everybody in the audience. Some people said that Griffin started the fight, the cat fight or whatever. Other people, they're like, Brera said he had no beef. I gave him a little push. He landed further than he needed to. So, exciting things happening.
It certainly sounds like
Scruffy
some
little
exciting-
fighters.
Scrappy, remember Scrappy Doo from Scooby Doo? There was Scooby Doo,
the
and
baby?
I think it was his
Nephew?
it his nephew or cousin, Scrappy Doo, and he always was like that, where he just was like, I'm big and tough, and he was literally like, this
Oh,
big.
yeah. I think it was his nephew. I don't really know, though.
I don't know for sure either. I don't remember. Somebody Google Scooby-Doo genealogy. We could have a whole nother segment about Scooby-Doo and the underlying effects and subliminal messages in Scooby-Doo, but that's not important right now. All right, well, that's, I believe, our What's Brewing segment, unless you wanted to talk one other thing that I enjoy about talking about Johnny Manziel.
Oh,
I enjoy
let's
Johnny
go for
Manziel.
it.
Johnny Manziel has apparently been working out in the offseason to try to come back to football as a whole, and he has been working out with New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton, leading many folks to speculate that Manziel might end up ultimately signing with the team and then potentially being the replacement for said Drew Brees in a couple of years. The Saints already need to look at signing the quarterback of the future anyway, because Drew Brees is getting in his late 30s and doesn't really have a lot left in the tank anyway, even though he continues to lead the NFL in passing yards every single year. So we'll have to keep an eye on that exactly. But do you put any stock in these Manziel rumors? Is he going to sign with the Saints?
I just don't understand why.
Why?
Like, okay, so he was cut last year,
I think
2016?
something like that.
Yeah, because he parties too much because he's a young pup in the big guys
He's a scrappy.
league.
He's a little
So,
J.
I mean, if he's been working out with him for a while and they're seeing potential in him, okay, I totally understand. But at the same time, the kid's had a full season off. Why bring him back? There's no one else better. I never had a problem with how much Johnny Manziel partied because I felt bad that he was ridiculed for it. And Gronk, everyone was like, yeah, Gronk, you're so fun to party with. And then Manziel, they were like, no, you suck.
You know the difference in those two guys, though?
One's not 12 and one's...
Well, that also.
They both are pretty
They're
young.
both basically 12. But no,
Yeah.
Gronk actually is
was
productive.
Good. Yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like that's the common thing. Like, you could be the most ridiculous, and they were saying this on the radio yesterday about the guys that have been convicted of, domestic violence and all that fun stuff. They're like, if you have the talent, people will basically repackage you and
Which is
still
terrible.
use you. I know. I'm completely with that. But like, not to be mean, but like if Aaron Rodgers went out tomorrow and just beat the crap out of Olivia Munn and the Packers released him, 31 other NFL teams would be like, me, pick me, we'd gladly sign you. 100%.
I know.
It's a sad state, but that's exactly how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, but then do you think that, okay, in the last year he's had off, he's got enough partying out of his system that he's going to come back and be party free and be like this great, like Drew Brees isn't going to be like,
will he
Johnny,
ever be effective, though? That's the big thing. I don't know if he'll be effective.
Listen to me, I'm Drew Brees. You should never party. You should just focus on being a quarterback.
Well, Drew Brees has got like 3 kids or 4 kids.
Right. Johnny Manziel has a dad to tell him not to party. He doesn't need Drew Brees.
I would want Drew Brees would be a good father. If I had to choose
Maybe.
a second or third father, I would totally. Drew Brees would be in my power rankings. For,
Would he?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Have you met him?
I have not, but he's a good Christian guy. So
Okay.
I enjoy his morals, and he's a good family man.
There we go.
Plus, he lives in New Orleans. Who doesn't love New Orleans?
Right, but I don't think that that's going to be enough for Johnny Manziel to be like, you know what? You're right. I should stop.
Well, this is my big concern in all this is that he would go from Cleveland, which is the cesspool of nothingness, where that's probably why he partied so much, because he's like, this team sucks.
Right.
To a team like the Saints, who's trying to kind of be good again, but you're also taking him out of Cleveland, Ohio, and then you're dropping him into arguably the second worst city to party in, aside from Vegas, in New Orleans.
First or the second best.
Depends on who you ask. Depends on the time of the year, depends on who you ask.
Right.
That's my concern. Although I do know he's from the South. He grew up in Texas. He's part of the SEC country. He understands, that side of the country, a little different than cold, crazy Cleveland, Ohio, which nothing good ever comes out of. It might end up being a good thing. I mean, he'll get to play in a dome as well, too. So in that regards, that might end up being something better for him. I don't know.
But you think those factors are enough to be like, I'm playing inside now. No need for me to get wasted on Tuesday.
You said this yesterday, though. I mean, how that guy signed with the Ravens because he looked good in the uniform in Madden.
Right, but he's not partying because
people use the most
good
random reasons to sign for teams.
Right, but it's all going to boil down to if he is still going out or not.
That's true. No, I completely agree. That's going to be the biggest thing. If I'm Sean Payton, I need to make sure that he is not consistently partying. He's not going to be my starting quarterback, obviously.
Right.
I've got Drew Brees. But if Drew Brees goes down, I've got Luke McCown, who's in his late 30s, who is terrible. And then I maybe might have Johnny Manziel. And I'll probably go draft a quarterback as well. I don't know. I don't know what to do there if you are the New Orleans Saints.
Looks like on Facebook we have a little bit of, everyone's kind of agreeing with us that, Aaron says Johnny football plus New Orleans equals problems. Brew says New Orleans is greater than Vegas. So I think he might be in for some trouble if he signs there.
I agree. I completely agree. And Jeff says he'll never get enough partying out of his system.
Hey, I don't blame Johnny. If I had that money, I'd probably...
Maybe you should date Johnny Manziel.
No.
Seems to be right up your alley.
It's probably not tall enough.
He's 6 feet tall.
I don't... Yeah, so am I.
And he's got lots of money.
Yeah, okay, true.
Jamie's like,
All
okay,
right.
I'm sorry. I got to go.
Sold. Sold.
Wow, are you a gold digger? No. If you're not tall enough, as long as you've got a deep pocketbook, that's all that Jamie matters. It's all that it takes to woo Jamie, apparently. For those of you that were wondering for the secrets to woo Jamie, that's all you need.
It's more than that.
Yeah, Aaron says, I feel like Jamie plus Johnny could be a match in heaven. Doesn't that sound cute, like when Johnny met Jamie or when Jamie met Johnny? Like, I think that could be another movie, like there. Was it, what's the, when Who Met Sally? When somebody, like, I thought, like, when blah, blah, blah met Sally. Isn't that a movie?
No.
You're the, I thought so.
Remember
when we played this game a couple of days ago and I was like, that song from that one commercial that one time, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, Baxter, is this?" Like, I swear there was like I thought it was like when Harry met Sally or when
You might be right.
when Johnny met Jamie or something. I thought there was something like that.
When Harry met Sally.
Okay, see, there we go.
You're
It is a
right,
movie. When did it come out? I don't think I've ever seen
1989.
it. 1989. Okay, great year to be alive.
And also, Scrappy Doo is Scooby Doo's nephew.
See, who got married to who then? Like, if you're a nephew, like, there's some marriage going on. Scooby doesn't have any ties,
And he
though.
seems single.
Scooby's always, like,
Super
flirting.
single.
He's
Yeah.
always looking ready to mingle there with some Scooby snacks and the other gals that he sees on the show at times. Strange. Like I said, we could dissect Scooby-Doo way more than we're going to right now. Anything else that's brewing that we need to hit on right away? I don't think so.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, I think we're good as well, too. Let's talk about the NCAA tournament last night. The Sweet 16 chaos that is literally taking over everybody right now. Some great games last night if you are just a casual viewer. Kansas absolutely demolishing Purdue. Absolutely demolishing.
Purdue kept up for a while.
They did.
And I thought about what you said earlier. Was it late last week or early this week when you're like, what if you just played like a first half and then they would have been like, it would have been a close game. And then they just couldn't keep up.
It's true.
And they smoked them.
Yes, they did. They absolutely did. 98-66. Usually, in the Sweet 16, you don't see score lines like this.
Right.
You see games like an Oregon-Michigan, 69-68, a very close, hard-fought battle the entire way. Very rarely do you see a team win by 30 points.
Yeah.
Like, that's an embarrassment. If I'm Purdue right now, I'm sitting there going, holy cow, we are an absolute embarrassment. But at the same time, you look at who the other teams that they could have potentially played. Iowa State, they would have gotten destroyed. Nevada, Vermont. Yeah, everybody that could have potentially met Kansas at that point in the Sweet 16 would have gotten curb stomped. I think Purdue was the best opportunity to potentially slow down Kansas, and they just absolutely failed.
Do you know how many points they scored in the second half?
I can find out for you.
Because I feel like it was like...
It wasn't a lot.
16.
I know that for a fact. I can check right now for you.
That would be
16?
great. I don't know. Maybe 20.
I don't know if it was that. Purdue scored 26 points in the second half. They were down 47-40 at halftime, and then Kansas scored 51 points in the second half.
That's crazy.
51. They made 15 three-pointers in this game as well, too. So Kansas was just absolutely on fire. Un-freaking believable.
Wild.
Does anybody have Kansas, if you're watching? Does anybody have Kansas in their final bit there? I don't think I do. I keep switching screens here, so I need to figure that out more if I do or not. But another game last night, Gonzaga taking down West Virginia 61-58. The Mountaineers, that's what a 4 seed should have done. They should have pushed the 1 seed to the breaking point.
It was close the whole time.
Purdue, falling on their face there with Kansas. But West Virginia, though, I mean, people keep questioning, are the Zags for real? Are the Zags for real? Not the Zogs, the Zags. Are Gonzaga from Sheboygan real? Like the Sheboygan Zags. I could see that being like, welcome to Sheboygan High School, home of the Zags. Totally makes sense, I think. Don't overthink it. Anyway, West Virginia, I think they went a lot farther than people thought they were going to.
Yeah. I was impressed by how much they stayed neck and neck the whole time. And then West Virginia came ahead for like a minute, and then Gonzaga.
Zaga.
Oh, that does sound like it's from Sheboygan. I was trying to be fancy when I said it.
Yeah,
so
well, that's
people
the
didn't
thing.
know.
Like, they're like, oh, I went to Gonzaga. Like, oh my, you went to
You're
Gonzaga.
like, no, you went to Gonzaga.
And then you like meet Billy, like, I went to Gonzaga. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm Billy from Sheboygan. I went to Gonzaga. Like, okay, Billy, shh, stop talking. Well, I have the Zags in my Final Four, so I think that this is a good test for them. They now have to go take on Xavier, which we'll talk about in just a moment, of course. But I still don't know if I'm fully buying into what Gonzaga is doing. 30 points. I mean, they were tied at halftime with West Virginia, 30-30, and then ultimately ended up winning the game by just a couple of points there at the end. But I don't know if Gonzaga is actually as good as folks are trying to maybe put some stock in them. And I feel bad about that as well, too, because I have them going to my final and then ultimately losing to Michigan, who won't be there, of course. But I don't know if I'm buying what Gonzaga is trying to sell me, honestly.
Well, I need them to sell us.
Well, I do, too. I need them to go to the final.
Me too. So if we could just pretend.
That's fine.
3 of my 4 Final Fours are still in.
Well, good.
So.
No, that's not a bad thing.
First place. Here I come.
She wants that $100.
Coming for you. I'll take second, too. I'll take myself on a date.
Yeah, second place is either you have an option. It's either the Brew Sports T-shirt or you can take Jaymee on a date.
I'm high maintenance, so be careful. Pick the T-shirt.
But as we heard yesterday, all you have to do is either take her to a sports game and she won't talk to you, or take her to a bar and talk in between commercials with some fancy craft beer. So,
hey,
if you're paying attention out there, folks, that's all it takes to win Jamie's heart, basically. What else? Oh, so that we look at the game that many folk were gandering at, and this begs the question. Xavier beats Arizona. An 11 seed beats Arizona, the 2 seed, 73-71. And it begs the question, is Xavier Cinderella? Have we finally figured out what Cinderella's name is this year? And that's contradicting it because I know Cinderella is her name, but every year everyone's always trying to be like, who's Cinderella? Who's Cinderella? Well, I think her name actually is Xavier this year. Or his name, or its name. So I guess you don't try to think about it too much. But you get what I'm trying to get at, honestly. But Xavier continues to stomp past people in incredible fashion. Granted, I know they didn't stomp past Arizona last night. They got pushed to the very end. But Xavier, I mean, you look at it. They beat Maryland. They beat FSU. They now beat Arizona. They now have to go take on Gonzaga. Like, they seem to be the team to beat right now in the tournament.
Do you think sometimes when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter what seed number you are, it just matters who has the drive, who wants it a little bit more than anybody else?
I could agree with that. Yeah, I mean,
like high seeds just get a little comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I don't ever, if I was coaching or at any level and that had to do with seeding, whether it be anything from basketball to badminton, I don't think I ever would want to be the highest seed. I would rather be like a mid-range seed. That way my guys, or my teammate would always feel like we've got something to prove.
Pressure.
Because I've been on those teams and I've been guilty of that. Like as a player, like when I played soccer, I was a part of, thankfully, some really great teams, and we would get the 1 or the 2 seed going into tournaments, and we would kind of just slack off. And we would end up winning a couple of the times, but the last year we were the 1 seed, and we got beat up in the first round because we didn't pay attention and we didn't care that much. And
yeah, and you're like, we're number 1.
Yeah, we're like,
it's
the team
fine.
we were playing, we're like, this team's not going to beat us. And they beat us, I think, by 3 goals. So it was bad. So you think, yeah, the higher seeded you are, like, yeah, some people view it as like, oh, we worked hard all year, we deserve this. But it's not like the NFL. You're not getting a break. You're not getting a first round bye. You're playing immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you prefer to be a lower seed if you could?
I think probably like mentally, like you said, because then I would always know that I had to start trying actually. But I think I'd be like, nah, I'd rather be number 1. That's what I think I would do. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like I am number 1.
I mean, you are. You're number 1 in my morning show host.
Oh, thanks.
You're
Max.
my favorite.
Lot to compete
co-host.
with.
You're my favorite second co-host. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. My coffee hasn't fully hit me yet. Anyway, Aaron did say I have Kansas in my Final Four and Arizona. Sad face. Yeah. So that's somebody that picked Kansas to at least go to the Final Four. Corey says the higher your seed, the harder you fall. Like, imagine.
Well, I think everyone's expectations are you expect, if you look at my bracket, for the high seeds to win. So if they don't,
yeah,
everyone's disappointed. Where if you're a 10 seed and you make it to the Final Four, the Elite 8, everyone's like, oh, God, this is great.
Madness, chaos.
Yeah. So,
break a window. Like, look, I mean, think about it, though. Like, Arizona probably is already mad. They're like, oh, my gosh, we just lost to an 11 seed. Imagine if Xavier goes out now and beats Gonzaga.
Yeah.
That's a 10 seed difference between 1 and 11. Like, that is a huge drop right there. And then Xavier ultimately could go to the Final Four to deal with. It would be a little bit closer, though, because Xavier would either have to play Wisconsin, Florida, Baylor, or South Carolina. So the lowest seed there is a 3 in Baylor. So hypothetically, they could be a closer game.
Yeah.
In that regards. But I think if you're Xavier, though, you have to be starting to say, hey, guys, we are for real. We are scoring points in bunches. We are beating the big teams. We know what it takes to win at a high level.
They were only 3-7 in the last 10 games leading up to the tournament. Do you think that because they lost those 7 games, that's why they got a low seed, even though the rest of the season, like, they might have been playing okay? I don't know what their score was or what their beforehand, but sometimes or maybe they took it easy and they played a trick on us all.
Ooh,
just
cheeky.
like we say that Cleveland's doing. They're pretending to suck for a real long time. They're just going to come out of the woodwork.
And then they're going to be the one that actually breaks the NFL record for like an undefeated season. And
Yeah.
people will be like, oh, what? Strange.
Yep.
I don't think that will actually happen. Although, if it did, you heard it here first on Brew Sports. Saying. Anyway, that's actually a weird scenario that you mentioned that, because what do you see teams do this for drafts, like tanking on purpose to get the higher draft pick. It's
Right.
like, we're a good team, but we're going to tank so we can get even more players. That's a strange and interesting question that you pose, though, about, hey, we know we're going to make it to the tournament. We play in the Big East. We know we're part of it. We've been good all year, but we're going to lose some of our rest of our games down the stretch so that we get seeded lower, and then we actually are a really good team, and then start beating up on everybody and being this a big surprise.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
Sports
theory.
are corrupt.
They are. That's an interesting theory. I like that theory, though, honestly. I really do. I don't know how realistic that is, though. I'm not sure.
If they do it in football, why wouldn't they do it in college basketball?
It's true. They do it all over the place. That's for sure.
And that also blows my mind when they do it in football, because you think one person coming on your team is really going to make that big of a difference. Like
Tom Brady? Aaron Rodgers?
Whatever, Baxter.
I'm just saying, but like that makes more sense in the NBA. Like if you take LeBron off the Cavaliers, totally different team. You take Steph Curry, still pretty good team, I guess. But like LeBron for sure. Like LeBron is a classic example. Nothing against Kyrie Irving, great player. But if you take LeBron James off of Cleveland, totally different team. Not as successful.
But I think basketball can be more of a solo sport.
It is.
To say than football,
easier.
because you can't really, like, Aaron Rodgers isn't running 50 yards.
That's true.
He needs someone to run for him.
You're right.
So,
No, I completely agree with you on that one. It's not like if you go out and sign, like if your first overall draft pick, like Kansas City did a couple years ago, was an offensive lineman because that was the big need that they had. Just because you got the best offensive lineman doesn't automatically mean you're going to now be the best team in the league. Like, oh, great, we were bad, so now we get a great person on our offensive line. We should be great. No, they weren't. They still weren't good. It still
Right.
took them a long time to build the rest of the team around them. No one player in football, for the most part, aside from maybe like 3 people in the entire league right now, can change a game like that. It just doesn't happen very often. Le'Veon Bell, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Other than that, virtually anybody is not going to their presence isn't going to dramatically affect the team.
right.
So that's my thought. That's your thought. Always good stuff. Do you want to rant? Are you in a ranting mood, or what are you thinking about doing with your life right now?
No.
You're not
I'm in a
you're-
really good mood today, so I don't really have much things to.
You could rant about a positive thing, too. That's completely up to you.
It's no fun.
It's no fun to rant about a positive thing?
I think I'm not a troller, like, on the internet.
True.
I don't have time for it, but I love when other people do it. So, like, at work, if we, like, tweet out to a team and they, like, tweet back and there's, like, some trolling going on,
Some bantering.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So a minor league team called the Greenville Drive have an interesting promotion set up for June. If Tim Tebow strikes out 3 times, this minor league team will give you a burger.
A burger. I like burgers.
I love burgers. Like, I'm a cheeseburger girl. So they're a Boston Red Sox affiliate. And yeah.
Okay.
So it's fun. It's funny. So if Tim Tebow strikes out 3 times during the Drive series against the Fireflies, the whole crowd will get a free Burger King Whopper. It says Tebow, who has a rough spring training outing with the Mets, was recently sent to their minor league affiliate. I think it's funny.
I think it's kind of funny too. I think that promotions like and you can't get away with this at a major league level. You just can't. Like that's I think why so many people ultimately love like minor league baseball and like second and third division virtually any sport, just because you can do these ridiculous crazy promotions and wear the awesome crazy jerseys and do stuff like that, or you just can't do that in the major leagues because of whatever rules that you've got.
I think that's what makes minor league so fun.
It is, and that's I think why people usually are almost more excited about that. Like I would rather go to minor league games at certain things than I would the pro version of it at times, because sometimes the pro version is like
right.
I'm not a big fan of it. Would I go to an NBA game over an NBA D League game? Maybe, I don't know. Would I go to a minor league baseball game? I mean, to me they're all the same in my opinion, but the lower level soccer games that I've been to have been a lot of fun. I got to broadcast a lot of those. Those are super fun. Yeah, maybe, potentially. I guess I could see that. It's hard to say the lower level football. That's called college football. They don't have a development league or anything like that, really, that people can go and check out the promotions. But I think that's what makes baseball so great, is that they have these lower level crazy promotions.
I think that's what makes it minor league.
Yes.
Like, for example, when we had the Trump-Clinton bobbleheads this year, like, people were like, oh, my gosh,
you guys said Trump and
Clinton bobbleheads, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, my God, you're stepping into politics. No, we're not.
How big was Trump's head on his bobblehead?
An average bobblehead size,
that's
yeah.
no fun.
So we didn't, because they were just the same, they were both in jerseys, and they both looked
Really
similar, and didn't say who we liked and who we didn't, and
it's like, here you go, guys.
it's funny.
Have at it. No, I think that's super funny. I hear Tanner's Trump voice in my head right now, like, I'm the greatest bobblehead, like Hillary, she's a crook, she's a liar. Like I hear Tanner in his whatever Trump voice.
The craziest thing is that people would write in like, hey, can I buy, and like we don't sell them, they're just giveaways. But people are like, I'll pay X amount of money
Top
for
dollar.
them. I just want a Clinton Trump bobblehead. No, you must come to our game. Yep. Schmuck.
Yeah. Schmuckity schmuck. Well, going back to your cheeseburger comment that you made briefly, what do you put on your burgers? I feel like this is a topic that is going to stew a lot of people, because we talked about this a couple of days ago with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and people were going off the rails, being like, "Oh, I do with mayo," and then we just basically sent out the FBI to find those people and oust them because they don't deserve to have voting rights.
I love cheeseburgers.
Are you a single patty or double patty?
Single. I
Single. Okay.
can't eat double.
Obviously, I mean.
So I'll do a single patty. I'll get some, obviously cheese,
Of course.
whether it's mozzarella, provolone, something like that.
Sure.
Bacon. Sometimes I'll do red onions. Lettuce. And I love, sauces. So mayonnaise, barbecue sauce. I like it all. And then
I just see your burger just being like this hot
Yeah.
mess, and
Ooh,
there's
and
a
I
burger
love-
under there.
I love an over medium egg on it.
Oh, you're one of those egg on
So
burger
good.
people
Yeah. And then I cut it in half. I eat a whole half, and then I eat the other half
for lunch the next day.
without without the bun, because then that's just a lot of bun.
It is a lot of bun.
I love burgers.
Wow, I can
Yeah.
tell.
I love if someone's like, "What's your favorite food?" I'm like, mashed potatoes or bacon cheeseburger. I love bacon cheeseburgers.
Mashed potatoes are your favorite
I
food?
love mashed potatoes. If I ever get married, I'm having a mashed potato bar.
I was just about to ask you,
Oh.
mashed potato bar.
Yeah.
Now, don't say if, it's when. Come on now. Give yourself some
If
credit.
I get married.
We've done so many different things to help you and promote you as a single lady on this show. I feel like that somebody out there is just like, okay.
Writing all this down.
They're going to finally meet you one day and be like, so, I'm going to take you on a date. We can go to a sporting event, but I know you're not going to want to talk to me. We can go to a bar, great craft beer. We can talk in between timeouts.
They have burgers at both those places, just so we know.
That's true. We're literally giving away the playbook to how to date Jamie, basically.
Yeah.
All you have to do is ask, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not true.
That's not true. There's a long test. There's a huge test.
People are chiming in on their favorite burgers.
Sweet.
Bruce says he just likes bacon and mayo. Lame. Aaron says he loves eggs and mushrooms, mayo, but no ketchup.
Strange.
Samantha says, what about a Big Mac with regular cheeseburger for the ride home?
You eat the Big Mac at the place, and then you have a cheeseburger on the way. Oh, there's a story here, isn't there? I feel like there's a story, because you wouldn't laugh that hard to that normally. What's the story?
Sometimes if I have a little to drink, I really like food, so I got a Big Mac to eat at home and a cheeseburger to eat on the way home. Don't judge me.
So you ate the cheeseburger on the drive home,
Yeah.
and then you had the Big Mac once you were back at the home base.
Yeah, I need a fancy setup for my Big Mac.
I could see you pulling out the fine china, be like, all right, guys, Big Mac time. Like, I've got my swanky wine glass that I'm sipping off of. Like,
And I love
life is
Big
good.
Macs. They're so bad for you, but I love them.
I think
don't even
I've
care.
maybe had one Big Mac.
Oh, I don't even care. I haven't had a Big Mac in probably like a year, but I love them.
Adam says peanut butter, egg, and bacon.
From, oh no, I don't think they put eggs on it. I don't like that you have peanut butter and egg
I
together.
don't like that you have peanut butter on any sort of burger. I think that's a
I've
terrible.
heard it's not
I
bad.
personally do not agree with that life choice.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'm a
No.
safe eater though.
I like to enjoy my food. Like, I'm not a super spicy guy. I'm not like a crazy exotic guy. And I like to enjoy my drinks and my food and not have to feel like I have to work too hard for it.
Yeah, and
You know?
burgers are already hard and messy enough, and you're gonna like lick peanut butter off the roof of your mouth. Not
It's
worth
just,
it.
Yeah, things are getting stuck all over the place.
Not worth it.
Aaron says, I tried to like peanut butter on my burger, still having a hard time with it. I don't know why anybody would willingly try that, though. That just blows my mind. Why would you want peanut butter on your burger? If I was doing like a pseudo like peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like if I had like 2 whatever buns and I put jelly on one and peanut butter on the other and then have that and ate that, sure. But I'm not putting a burger and peanut butter together. That just doesn't make sense to me in my mind.
Yeah, me either.
It's strange. Yeah, he says it's so good, apparently. Peanut butter and bacon.
Jeff wants to know what a safe eater is. I get really nervous to try new foods. So something that doesn't belong. Peanut butter does not belong on a burger.
Nope.
I'm not going to try it. I also find it weird when fruit is in things, right? Like apple pie. Like pie should just be pie.
True.
Fruit in your yogurt. Like yogurt should just be yogurt. The fruit doesn't need to be there. I don't
Wow,
like it.
I
I
enjoy
only
that.
like vanilla yogurt with like granola and honey. Like I'm very much like this is kind of off topic, but like candles that smell like food also gross me out. Like I don't want an apple cinnamon pie candle. Yeah.
Ooh, don't come to my house in the fall time
I
because our
want my
house
candle to
smells
smell.
of like apple orchards and hot yummy pies.
I don't like that. I like it to smell like fresh linen. So I like things to be clean. Smells like clean. A burger tastes like meat, and an apple tastes like an apple. I don't need it in yogurt.
Interesting. Yeah, Allison says cheeseburger with mac sauce apparently is her go-to. Another gentleman here says bacon cheddar barbecue sauce can't go wrong. I do agree with you on that one for sure. Aaron says I feel like 90% of millennials are safe eaters. Why? It literally took me 25 years. How old am I? I'm 25. It took me 24 years to try sushi.
Oh, I just tried it this year too.
Tried it last year for the first time and fell in love.
My parents are really
But I was
lame.
like anti, like no thanks, not having it, no way.
My parents are really lame eaters though. Like growing up, like they didn't make us try like crazy foods or anything like that. You know, it was like chicken and vegetables or like whatever.
Sure, makes sense.
So there wasn't like anything. You know, for Sheboygan, we didn't have anything there 20 years ago. So when I moved down here, and the restaurant
Darn you,
industry
Sheboygan.
is pretty great.
Starving your children.
Yeah. I feel like I tried a little bit more.
I'd agree with that. Adam wants to know what a normal pie. What's
Like
a normal
pumpkin pie.
Yeah, apple, pumpkin, those are like normal pies.
I don't like chunks and things. So like when you eat an apple pie, you have to like there's like a chunk of apple and then there's like the gooey stuff around it. Like I just like.
Yeah. Jeff says no to sushi. Sorry, Jeff. I was that way too. I was hashtag no sushi for a long time.
You got to ease into it.
I did. Yeah, Jeff says sure. Blame your parents. I mean,
They'll
your
agree.
parents control most of what you consume for the first 18 years of your life.
They're like a
that
steak and
happens.
potatoes kind of family. So
I get that. The Ebbers seem like Ebbers and Sheboygan there.
well-fed Ebbers.
Yes, it's true. Aaron says, I feel like safe eaters are missing out on so much. Well, clearly. I mean, that means obviously, like if I'm a safe person and I'm never going skydiving, people will always be like, yeah, you're missing out. Be more adventurous. Well, yeah, sure. It's a personal preference. Obviously, there's people that like to push the issue. That's why they pour like a whole bottle of Tabasco sauce on certain things and then eat it. It's like, you're weird. Why would you do that? But they like to live outside the box. Like, who thought one day, like, I'm going to jump out of a plane? Somebody was like, I hate life some days. Like, I want to put a parachute on and see what happens.
And
like,
then they
this
survive.
is so fun!
Yeah. And it's not that fun, by the way. It hurts. Your face hurts. Your like groin area hurts.
You jumped out of a plane?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thanks.
I never would do it, though.
I'm a risk taker.
Way to go.
Not when it comes to my food.
I will jump off a cliff. I will jump out of a plane, but hell no will I not have Tabasco
Yeah.
or any crazy other peanut butter on my burgers. Get out. Yeah. Thomas says, Zoe says veggie sushi. I don't know who Zoe is, but she sounds like a smart gal. Veggie sushi. That makes sense. Like, are you talking
California roll?
like California rolls, like cucumbers and sour cream and all that? I think that makes sense. I think that's what that would be. I'm not exactly sure.
Me either.
Brewer says, safe eaters miss out on things like pork belly tacos.
I love pork. My tacos the other week were pork belly, and they were great.
It depends on what you classify as safe.
But it was literally like pork belly, cilantro, onions,
Yeah.
sauce, sour cream.
Mm-hmm. Thomas says he also throws the avocado on there as well, too. I love avocado as a whole. Avocado is something I've only discovered since I've been married, basically. Like, it was anti-avocado, but my wife and I put avocado on virtually everything, especially when it comes to burgers and salads and all that fun stuff. Absolutely team avocado, for sure. Yeah. Aaron says California rolls have crab or fake crab, no veggie. Well, whatever.
Isn't that the one with broccoli in it?
There's broccoli in sushi?
I don't know. I had one.
I don't know.
Had a big chunk of broccoli in it. And it was
Like I said, I enjoy sushi, but I'm not a connoisseur, so it's very hard for me to just be like, oh, for sure. Like, that's obviously what the dealio is. I have no idea. I'm the wrong person to ask when you talk about that. All right, time to talk about Flashback Friday here, because where we flash back and look at things that took place in the sports world, things that we talked about, things that we did. The big thing that was a game changer for many folk was talking about the peanut butter and jelly earlier in the week. I brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with me for lunch today, among other things. I have more than just that. My wife is at home going like, that's all you brought with you today? I'm like, no, I brought more, but sometimes you get that peanut butter and jelly itch. You're like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
We did some really fun stuff with it. Go and check out past videos on our website, brewsportsnet.com, and we talked about it. The NBA apparently has the secret addiction to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, as well as Tinder as well. Is there anything that we talked about this week, Jaymee, that you want to bring back up, or anything else in general that you want to flash back to?
I wish... Like I said, I like when people troll people. Earlier in the week, we had the fan from Northwestern who cried. I wish there was someone yesterday that we could have made fun of today.
Jaymee just likes to make fun of people.
I'm a nice girl, but I do enjoy.
You laugh a little. You love watching people in agony at the same time.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, we didn't do this on this day yesterday. Remember, we were like, oh, on this day, like we usually go back on Throwback Thursday to like look at our old Facebook posts. Apparently 4 years ago today, because we can't go back because Facebook's not about that life, I shot a gun for the first time 4 years ago. First time shooting a real gun. Didn't do too bad from 25 yards out. Hit the bullseye a couple times, apparently. What else did I do? I said, was this 5 years ago, that I am so blessed to have such an amazing family. It's true.
Yours are always so nice.
I
Mine
try.
are awful.
I have some cute pictures with my brothers. 8 years ago, just got home from football, very, very tired apparently. And I was also voted Rita's fan of the day back in the day. And then I also said enough fun for the day, time for fire training, because I played for the Chicago Fire Academy as well for a short time.
Nice.
The more you know. I don't think I really say much else. Posted a couple articles about me writing stuff, Jaymee writing stuff. Did some interviews. My wife and I must have traveled, I think, last week. Oh, were we this time of the year last year? Did we go to Nashville at this time last year? Yeah, we did. I think this must have been the same time that we went to Nashville last year, because Easter was early last year. And then we ended up telling everybody that we were pregnant as well at this time. So we are nearing the anniversary of alerting the world that we were pregnant. So that's some exciting stuff. Yeah,
that is exciting.
I have a cute baby out of it. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's a great time.
I can't compete.
You can't compete? Mm-hmm. What was Jaymee like on this day in history?
Oh boy, let's see. 7 years ago, I have another cheesy quote. Surprise, surprise.
Yes, I live for Jamie's cheesy quotes.
Before I met you, I never knew what it was like to look at someone and smile for no reason.
Can you do that again and just look right down the camera and say that again? Before I met you, I never knew what it was like to look at someone and smile for no reason. Gross. Did you actually say gross after?
No, I'm saying gross right now.
I was like, wow. I was like, I could see that being like, here's a sweet, cute. JK. Like,
no.
I hate those people.
I used to be sensitive. 5 years ago, I was on spring break, so that's just a mess.
We won't show those pictures.
Yeah. And then I was at work 3 years ago.
I hope so.
Can't wait to down a pot of coffee this morning. #SoTired.
I always love that when people are like, I'm so tired I could drink a whole pot of coffee. Do you actually know how hard that is to do?
I couldn't do it.
It's not as easy as I barely get through a 1 cup of coffee in a sitting.
3 years ago, I had an internship with the Admirals where I work now.
Hey.
And at 3 o'clock every day, they would play a Kesha playlist every day for the rest of the season. So
Strange.
it says at 3 o'clock every day, my office plays 15 minutes of Kesha. I look forward to those 15 minutes every day.
Why?
I don't know.
What did Kesha have to do with anything?
I work with a lot of weird people.
I mean.
And then I have a man crush Monday.
Oh, you do?
Craig Smith.
Craig Smith.
Hey, boy.
Who's Craig Smith?
He's from the Nashville Predators.
Oh. What happened to Jordy? You haven't shouted out your boy Jordy in a long time. How are we supposed to get Jordy on the show to do an interview in studio, shirtless next to you?
Jordy, I love you.
What would you do if you showed up on Monday and Jordy's sitting here? Just be like, I'm ready for an interview?
Like yesterday when the puppy came to my office, I'd probably cry, shake. I was so excited. So I would imagine that the reaction would be similar.
You're like, is she seizing? No, she's just excited to see you. She might pee, Jordy. Be careful.
Yeah.
She might
I feel
pee.
like I don't get starstruck off him, but I love him.
Be like, Hermagerd, Jordy Nelson.
And probably pee a little.
Yeah.
He's so excited.
Jordy's a nice guy. I think he would probably he'd be like one of those guys that's famous, but they would give the screaming girls a hug, be like, hey, it's good to see you.
And he would be so cool about it too. He'd be like, hey. Hopefully he'd whisper sweet nothings in my ear, but a girl can dream. So if anyone knows Jordy, bring him to Brew Sports. Do you want to see me?
I mean,
so excited. I'd geek out more than I am now.
Apparently, I don't know if that's possible to do. You're kind of freaking out hard right now, which is totally fine. I have no problem with that. Let's see. Any other comments here that we need to get to or address from throughout the broadcast? Let's see. Somebody earlier said, Brew said go Florida. So he's a Gators fan. He's taking the Gators tonight as they take on the Badgers. I guess we should briefly talk about the games tonight if you want to. We don't have to.
Might as well.
It's always a fun thing to talk about. Butler takes on North Carolina tonight. South Carolina takes on Baylor, UCLA, and Kentucky, and Wisconsin and Florida. Your thoughts about the 4 games tonight?
Well, I had Villanova winning.
Ooh.
We're going to the Final Four, so obviously go Badgers, and I would want them to win anyways. I have who do I have winning that one? Oh, I had Marquette going, so I don't really care.
Same
who wins.
here, yeah.
And then
the Butler and UNC game, you're saying?
Yeah, then I need UNC to win, and then obviously Kentucky. So.
Yeah, I need, my left side of the bracket up there is totally shot, so I want the Badgers to win now, and I guess maybe South Carolina would be the better of the 2 teams to face if you're the Badgers, so go Gamecocks and
Man, I just
go
want
Badgers.
UCLA to lose.
I
Not
do
even
too.
because I want Kentucky to win.
LeVar
but just
hasn't
because
said
I hate
anything in a
LeVar
long
Ball.
time.
No, he was on, what was he on yesterday or 2 days ago?
What was he on something finally again? I was thinking about that on the drive-in this morning. I'm like, LeVar's been quiet recently. I'm like, what's going on with LeVar?
First Take?
Oh, maybe.
I didn't watch it because he annoys me, but.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't either because he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
But I heard he was talking smack again. So I just hope UCLA loses.
I haven't seen an article about it, so he must not have insulted the right people.
Apparently, I saw somewhere that he made Stephen A. Smith apologize or something, but.
What?
Whatever.
Stop. Stephen A. Smith is a grown man. Let him, don't tell him what to do. Tammy says, Team Jordy!
Yay!
Woo! We love Team Jordy.
Tammy, go.
No.
I was like, Tammy, if it comes here, I'll invite you, girl.
Hey, yeah. Thomas says, Michigan basketball could be more fun, or could be made fun of for not driving to the basket when they were only down by 1 last night. That is a good point, and some folks have been debating that vigorously since the game, basically. They lost by almost a jump shot 2-point basket instead of driving to the hoop and trying to get the foul on the last basket. But without actually being there, without actually making the decision, without the ball actually being in your hand, it's so hard to actually know what the right decision is.
Was that the game? I can't remember when they shot from the 3 and then they airballed it and then no, it wasn't. User said that they shot for a 2. Never mind.
It was by the 3-point line. The guy's foot was on the 3-point arc. But he said it was a 19-foot jumper or something like that he missed apparently.
There was an air ball, and then there was they shot again and hit the front of the rim. I think was that game.
Might have been that game. I honestly didn't get a chance to see the end of the game last night.
They passed the ball 8 times between everybody, and then
shoot it,
airballed.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
Sad day. What are you doing this weekend, Jamie? You doing anything fun at all?
I'm going to Lumineers tomorrow, so I'm really excited for that.
Lumen.
Yeah, and then just work.
Just work?
Mm-hmm.
Work.
Yeah, we have dog days on Sunday, so I'm excited about it.
Dog days?
Yeah, people get to bring their dogs to the hockey game.
Oh. Doesn't that get messy and loud and annoying?
Not really. I mean, obviously we haven't had it in the new arena, but they bark a little, but it's not too bad. Yeah.
Interesting. That'd be awesome if, after a goal, all the dogs started barking.
They probably will once the horn goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm excited for it. I love dogs, so.
Yeah, no. Makes sense. Do you have a favorite dog? Everybody's got their dream dog.
So probably from growing up, I really want a Rottweiler. I also
Interesting.
love Dogo Argentinos. They're really scary looking, though.
A what?
A Dogo Argentino.
Dogo Argentino.
They look like massive white pit bulls, like 90, 100 pounds.
That sounds
Huge.
terrifying.
They're so cute. And unfortunately, I love corgis, too, because they're just so stupid looking. They have little legs, fat bodies.
You're just so stupid. Get over here, you.
So I'll probably be that crazy person that has a bunch of dogs.
I get it. You do what you got to do. Interesting. Yeah, nothing too crazy happened at the Colburn house this weekend. Trying to think, no family or anything.
And so you guys laying low?
Yeah, well, tomorrow is going to be grown-up stuff. Like, since I'm gone 5 days out of the week, I think we're going to take care of some bills and all that other fun stuff that happens with being an adult. So, plus I get to spend time with my wife and my son, which is ultimately the most important thing. So I look forward to my weekends. People are like, oh my gosh, you get to go home and relax. I'm like, well, yeah, but I also have to like catch up on the stuff I missed during the week since I'm gone usually during normal business hours to take care of any other adult stuff, basically. So just excited for some time at home, some baby cuddles, all that fun stuff. Got to rock my son to sleep last night after a long day. I thought that was phenomenal. Little things like that make my day so much better. Make this all worth it.
I got to clean my bathroom yesterday.
Oh, how'd that go? That's on my list. I have to clean
clean
the bathrooms, catch up on some laundry, make some things, do some stuff.
Yes, Corey, grown-up stuff.
Yay, grown-up stuff. Is Corey giving you crap?
No, he said grown-up stuff.
Yeah,
or maybe you are
stuff.
giving me crap.
Probably. Is it?
Or you crap.
Is it in quotes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the winky face and so he's definitely. Yeah. Aaron also wants to know fast, can dogs run on the ice?
No. Some teams have like wiener dog races, but
We need to see them like skidding on their belly.
Yeah. We do not let them run on the ice.
That's what I would do if I was a wiener dog. Like, I'm basically a penguin. I've got the same belly. If I'd be like, yeah, that's what I would do if I was a wiener dog. Are you trying to like, are you,
yeah.
Okay. I was just like, okay, strange. All right, Jaymee. Well, we got to get out of here. Some good stuff. Special thanks to all of you fantastic people for joining us with comments. You guys were fantastic. Some great discussion driving today. Some good questions. Make sure you guys head over to our Facebook page if you haven't already and hit that like button. Invite your friends as well, too. There's a little button, I think, on the right side that says invite your friends to like this page. Do that. Go through, invite 20 to 1,000 of your closest friends and help us continue to keep growing as well. We are the only daily, weekly sports network on Facebook. No one else is doing what we're doing. So if you want to have people continue to keep checking out what we're doing, definitely go and hit that invite my friends to do that. You can also find us on social media as well, too. Brew Sports on Facebook, of course, and then at Brew Sportsnet on Twitter and Instagram. Where are you on social media again, Jaymee?
On Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Jamie_Ebbers.
And I am at Baxter Colburn on all forms of the social media spectrum. And we look forward to being back with you guys again on Monday. Coming up next on Brew Sports at 11 a.m. Central Time is myself and Tanner Burke for halftime. It's been one of those weeks, so I really have no idea what to prove or to tell you what we're going to be talking about. So be prepared for madness, clothing changes, and possible nudity. I have no idea. I'm just going to try to cover all the spectrums because I truly have no idea what's coming up. So stay tuned. We hope to see you guys at 11. If not, we'll see you back here again on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a drink for us, and we'll see you again on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.